The main event, UFC welterweight champion Jack Della Maddalena defends his belt for the first time when he takes on former UFC. Makhachev was #1 ranked pound-for-pound fighter in the world in 23, 24, and 25. He cleaned out that division, and he has decided to take his 15-fight win streak and move up to attempt to become one of a few fighters in UFC history to win belts in 2 different divisions. Della Maddalena has won 18 fights in a row, just beat Bilal Muhammad for the welterweight title. This is literally the definition of a super fight. So that's the main event. Champion versus champion.
Народ, мелко завтракает и новости смотрит, и еще мне предъявляют, что я опоздал.
Я в строю был 10:00, я не опоздал.
А дальше что?
Makhachev wants The UFC world has just been shaken by a blockbuster announcement. Islam Makhachev, the pound-for-pound king, is officially stepping up to the welterweight division to face the reigning champion, Jack Della Maddalena. This isn't just a fight, it's a champion versus champion super fight, set for the main event of UFC 322 at the iconic Madison Square Garden. This is the definition of a legacy-defining clash, a battle that pits one of the most dominant grapplers in history against one of the sport's sharpest and most dangerous strikers.
How do you think Islam versus JDM goes down?
Honestly, I think Islam will probably take him down. Like, Islam's wrestling really good. Like, even with me, I'm like really committed to it. I took him down. Their team's so good at like hacking at game plan and sticking to it.
You said that you kind of abandoned the game plan a little. Do you think if you got a rematch, you would change the game plan a bit?
No, I mean, honestly, I think I won three rounds, but you have to go out there and make it more clear. When you get into the cage and you're fighting, right? You get into that, like, all right, I feel like striking. Let's keep going. I was doing well with it. Let's keep going. If your coach is trying to get you to focus on the game plan again, it's like, nah, man, I'm doing well with it. You're thinking you're doing better than you are. Every fight, you gain something from it, right?
Islam Makhachev, once the undisputed lightweight king, has now made the leap to 170 pounds. The Dagestani powerhouse voluntarily gave up his title after defending it a record 4 times, having cleaned out the entire division. His decision was long anticipated, but few expected his first challenge at welterweight would be against a champion as gritty and calculated as Maddalena. The stakes couldn't be higher. Not only is he aiming to become a rare 2-division UFC champion, but he's also stepping into territory that even his legendary mentor, Khabib Nurmagomedov, never ventured.
How do you think the fight against Islam goes?
I think it's a super difficult fight. Obviously, he's faced Volk twice, so the first one very competitive, and now we're facing a guy that's best scrambling ability, period, in all of MMA. I think that's what Bilal struggled with. So I think the size difference is going to be quite a lot than people think. And we've seen how Volk did on the ground, how much Islam struggled with him. Jack beats Islam, puts Islam in a difficult position. Does he now go back down to fight Ilya after he loses?
On the other side of the cage is Jack Della Maddalena, a man who has quietly built one of the most impressive win streaks in recent UFC history. After losing his first 2 professional fights, the Australian has stormed through every test thrown his way, stacking up 18 straight wins. His crowning moment came when he defeated Bilal Muhammad in convincing fashion to capture the welterweight title. Now he's looking to solidify his own legacy by turning back a legend in the making.
And we now have a date for a massive super fight between Islam and JDM. Islam wanted to headline the biggest arena in the world, and now he gets that opportunity. He has a different challenge ahead of him at 170. Outside of Volkanovski fighting him well, our first fight, it's been washout after washout as he goes into this opportunity to try to become a 2-weight champ. But for Jack Della Maddalena, this will be an opportunity to elevate himself by fighting one of the best fighters in the world, a guy that has a big name and a massive following.
Islam Makhachev is going to be fighting Jack Della Maddalena. How do you think those two match up?
I think Jack's fight against Bilal was a perfect fight for leading into that. Just purely, you take a lot out of stop and takedowns, because again, there's every fighter's still going to have little doubts that are going to creep in. You know, I'm sure Jack was going through that, being like, all right, like, you know, worried about, you know, what if he takes me down and all that. But the fact that he was able to stop it and feel so comfortable, I guarantee you he's leveled up again. His confidence in his takedowns has just went up significantly leading into this fight. I think his confidence is going to be at a whole nother level. So through camp, like, I guarantee you, if he's back in training right now, people trying to take him down are going to find it almost impossible. You know, only the top guys guys are going to have a chance of taking him down, and they're going to have a very hard time even holding him down.
And the predictions are already flying in from every corner of the MMA world. Khabib himself has spoken openly about the challenges Islam faces, pointing to Maddalena as perhaps the most dangerous matchup he could have drawn for his welterweight debut. He noted the Australian's blend of precision striking and strong defensive grappling, as well as the influence of his training partners, particularly Alexander Volkanovski, a man who nearly beat Makhachev in their first epic battle. With such a savvy camp behind him, Jack brings more than just power, he brings a deep strategic understanding of Makhachev's style.
Я вижу 77 Шавката как соперника, да, вот, вызывающего уважение, во-первых, во-вторых, опасения. Шавкат, Белял, но Ян Герри я бы не считал бы таким грозным соперником. Ну, Шон Брэди я не вижу. Стилистически слишком удобный. Шавкат.
How do you feel about this fight with Islam?
I don't think it'll be an easy fight for Jack. Islam can do everything that Bilal does, but way better. I thought Jack handedly had the fight, but it was a fight. But I believe in Jack. I think he's got that X factor. Just like with Bilal, just like Burns before, I think he can.
But if Islam makes it through this tough first hurdle, Khabib has a short list of future threats at 170. He believes Shavkat Rakhmonov and a rematch with Belal Muhammad offer the biggest risks. Interestingly, Islam was hesitant to move up earlier precisely because of his friendship with Belal. That loyalty speaks volumes about Makhachev's character, but it also kept him sidelined while others climbed the ranks. Now that Maddalena has dethroned Muhammad, the path is finally clear.
Хамзат Чимаев взял титул в среднем весе. Очень интересно твое мнение о его выступлении, насколько ты был впечатлен этим выступлением. И еще Хамзат еще до этого боя вот сказал, что самая быстрая дорога на первую строчку pound for pound — это поединок с чемпионом в полусреднем весе. Если ты станешь чемпионом в полусреднем, ты будешь готов принять поединок с Хамзатом?
Ну, сейчас, отвечая на этот вопрос, я не хочу открывать двери для всяких раздоров между нашими народами. Но посмотрим, у меня бой впереди тяжелый. Был впечатлен над доминацией. Думаю, он распределял силы, нигде не форсировал, даже в удары не вкладывался. Просто у него была цель стать чемпионом. Я думаю, если захотел бы, форсировал бы, можно было нанести больше ущерба и финишировать. А так удивил, что так легко переводил и столько времени смог контролировать.
If you think Islam's dominance will continue at welterweight, hit that like button and let me know your prediction in the comments.
Yeah, who do you think wins that fight between Islam and Jack Della Maddalena?
Well, first off, I gotta say, if I was Shavkat Rakhmonov or Ian Gary or somebody that is right there who's really worked hard to get there, I'd be pretty pissed. Because, you know, this guy, JDM, just got the title, and then he's giving somebody else a shot at what I've earned the right to have, you know, which is the title shot. Like, give JDM a shot at, you know, give him one or two more guys. If he beats them, then give him somebody outside the division. But I would be kind of pissed. I would be kind of upset that they're giving this guy immediately somebody from 155 division. Now, I think it's a very tough fight for Islam Makhachev. Bigger guy. Somebody who won the title from somebody with a similar style in Belal Muhammad. I do believe Islam Makhachev striking is a lot better than Belal Muhammad's, but their pressure, their cardio, their wrestling background, fairly similar. Obviously, I think one would be better than the other, but he's faced somebody a lot exactly like him. So I think it would be a tough fight for Islam for sure.
Robert Whittaker, the former middleweight champion, has long been a believer in Jack's skill set. He sees this matchup as a real shot for the Aussie to derail a seemingly unstoppable train. I believe in Jack, Whittaker said. I think he's got that X factor. I think he can do the impossible. But he also acknowledged that Islam can do everything Belal does, but way better, making this an incredibly difficult fight for his fellow countrymen.
How do you think Islam versus JDM goes down?
Honestly, I think Islam will probably take it down. Like, Islam's wrestling really good. Like, even with me, I'm not, like, really committed to it. I took him down. Their team's so good at like hacking at game plan and sticking to it.
You said that you kind of abandoned the game plan a little. You think if you got a rematch, you would change the game plan a bit?
No, I mean, honestly, I think I won three rounds, but you have to go out there and make it more clear. When you get into the cage and you're fighting, right, you get into that, oh, like, all right, I feel like striking. Let's keep going. I was doing well with it. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. If your coach is trying to get you to focus on the game plan again, it's like, nah, man, I'm doing well with it. You're thinking you're doing better than you are. Every fight, you gain something from it, right? This fight, I gained something.
However, not everyone is convinced that Jack's quick rise is built to last. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson has voiced skepticism, believing it might have been wiser for Jack to get more experience before taking on a fighter of Makhachev's caliber, especially with killers like Shavkat and Ian Gary still circling the division. He thinks it's a tough fight for Islam, noting that Maddalena has already faced a similar style in Bilal Muhammad, but he still seems to think the champion might be biting off more than he can chew.
O que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
O Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que... Ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. É o que ele fez agora no luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazer a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo, é outra.
JDM don't wrestle, but he was defending well, and he puts damage on you.
Off rip.
Starts putting damage on you, and he can box.
So how do you see that fight with him and Islam? Does he have the ability to beat a guy like Islam?
He'll get takedown attempts coming at him very early. This time. The last fight, he didn't have to deal with that when he was fresh. If Islam can start to pressure him early and take him down early, or even just make him wrestle, he might struggle. I don't know that he's ever felt anything like he's going to feel, because it's not going to be double legs and single leg with Islam. It's going to be him playing with his feet, tripping him, moving around on the octagon side, doing things that he don't recognize as freely.
But she didn't answer the question.
The problem is, like, I can only give you that because I can't truly make a prediction. The job doesn't allow.
But Maddalena has support from plenty of corners. Max Holloway, one of the sport's most respected minds, believes Jack has the IQ and adaptability to make this a razor-close contest. Daniel Cormier, however, echoed the concerns about the size difference, acknowledging that if Islam struggles to take Maddalena down, it could throw his entire strategy into disarray. And Jorge Masvidal, who has seen Islam's brutal weight cuts up close, believes he might actually be a better, healthier fighter at 170, but he also called Jack special, recognizing the Aussie's ability to shock the world.
I've seen Islam, bro. He's a big guy. He's sucking out a lot of weight to get to 55. I think he might start doing better at 70. Problem is, though, Jack is special. We're gonna see just how special he is if he beats Islam. Jack, #1 pound for, wow, that's impressive, you know. I'm leaning towards Islam, brother.
Oh, really?
You know, but I really think it's gonna be a tough fight for him, but a great fight, man.
Jack was able to defend takedown attempts by Bilal.
Bilal has the best cardio in MMA, but Bilal doesn't have Islam's technique. Not same technique, not same. Very good, very aggressive. Bilal never stops. A dog. Attack. But Islam is like smart, man. Boom. You know, Islam's level of wrestling is above. His stand-up game is improving. I don't think he could go stand-up in the beginning with Jack. Jack has way better hands, way better range, faster, stronger. But as the rounds go on later and later, he could do.
Who do you think wins, Jack or Islam?
It's such a tough one to talk about. Islam is phenomenal. He's good everywhere. Size matters. When you're talking about an extra 15 pounds, when you look at the size of Volkanovski versus Jack Della Maddalena, there's a big size discrepancy. And Volk gave him a good fight. And then Dustin Poirier, it wasn't absolutely completely dominant by Islam. It was a tough fight. Size is going to play a huge part. Even on the ground, I feel like Jack could get it done with just some clean boxing and good takedown defense. But I can absolutely see Islam coming in and doing what Islam does. Going out there and just looks like the phenomenal mixed martial artist he is.
As fight night approaches, the stakes couldn't be clearer. Makhachev isn't just stepping into a new division, he's walking into the lion's den against one of the most dangerous welterweights in recent memory. And Maddalena, a quiet storm, will be looking to slam the door on Islam's two-division title dreams. Whether Islam can rewrite history or if Jack Della Maddalena sends him back down to lightweight, only time will tell.